Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back
Sorry.
to another episode of Negro Jump. As always, please follow us on all the things. Look up Linktree/Negro Jump. There you will find links to our Instagram, Twitter, YouTube channel, TikTok page, Twitch, and Patreon. That's right. All of those things. And not also leaving out, including as well, you know, the podcast links to get the full audio in your ear.
Full audio in your ear.
All of that.
Go to Linktree/Negro Jump.
We are on Twitch weekly, almost nightly. Damn, this has turned into a full-time job.
Yeah.
Almost nightly, we are on Twitch.
We had to hire new people.
Right. We sure did. Sure did. Shout out to Nate G. Shout out to Mr. G.
Mr. G himself.
And then Patreon, you still get those monthly meeting episodes. That's right. You get to find out about all the things we're doing year round. You get all the BTS. Not that. I don't understand when BTS got only crossed with porn. Like I don't remember when that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, now people just think it's the pop band.
It's
Yeah,
like
K-pop.
It's the K. They think it's the K-pop band now. So
y'all
you fighting three ways. You fighting three ways.
Did y'all never not have DVDs before? Special features.
Yeah.
But today we are joined with a very special guest. We have the creator of Geek Out at Staten Island, the only black ran outdoor anime con. We have Najah, everybody.
Hello.
We have Najah.
Hello.
Bring it in. Sound the horns, the trumpets. Thank you. Thank you so much for making the trip out here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Right,
coming.
a pleasure
on.
meeting you. Pleasure.
On.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So let's just get right into it. What inspires you to start your own anime convention?
Well, first and foremost, like I'm a nerd, so like I always wanted to go to conventions, but my mom's like, I ain't spending money on that. I should not. So I'm like, well, dang, I guess I gotta make my own.
We got convention at the house.
No, but I always wanted to go to conventions. I always heard like people growing up like going to cons and going places and all this stuff. I was like, oh, I want to do that so bad. But I can't because my mom had my funds at the time, had no real job. And so like in 2019 is kind of like when I started trying to go through things and figure stuff out for the convention. I realized that Staten Island doesn't have any convention of its own that's like big like that. We have like local ones like at high schools or like at churches, but not like one that was really centered. Like how you have like New York Comic Con, NYC, Brooklyn Comic Con, different things like that. Like Staten Island is just like, meh. So,
Right.
So I was like, you know, we have so many creative artists here. We have so many talented like musicians and different things like that. I thought, why not take the people I already have in the community and like make a space for them while also tying into something I really love and like I'm passionate about. So that's kind of how it happened.
It was really. Well, I missed the first one, but then I got the. I applied. Excuse me, I didn't get the invite. I applied.
You went through the proper channels.
I applied.
Yeah. You CC'd who you had
to do a panel. It was pretty much like it wasn't even a full stand up. Like I was kind of just like talking my ish about upbringings on doing it, but I had a huge stage to myself, which was intimidating. But I was like, I'll take the challenge. Like this is dope. And not just one. I had the option of 2 different stages.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful con. Beautiful. It was spaced out. You had your artist gallery. You had your food vendors. You had to walk around to get to anything, and you just enjoyed the outdoor space. So it was very nice. Got to meet some
Damn, your
cosplayers.
mapping was better than Anime NYC this year.
Hey. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's introduce you first. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, sorry, the tea hasn't settled yet. My fault.
But you've done it for 2 years now. So.
Actually, this will be our 4th year. I've done it for 3 years.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah,
Geek Out Staten Island.
This will be year 4 of Geek Out of Staten Island, aka GOASI Con.
Come on, I got my lanyard just sitting on my desk with the rest of them. I'm like, damn, this is a nice. Every time I'm looking, I was like, this is a nice lanyard, right? Like what?
Thank you. I tried.
Who's the artist that?
So the person that designed it is actually one of our staff members.
Nice.
She goes by her name's Miriam, but she goes by Star U. So she
Okay.
actually vends at like other conventions and stuff like that. So she's the one that designed our banner.
Great.
And like our
All
badges and
in-house.
stuff like that. Yeah. And she's also from Staten Island. So like a lot of like our staff are like Staten Islanders. We only have one person. She's from the Bronx, but she's my best friend. So.
Nice. Nice. I hope it does nothing but get bigger because
Thank you.
It was very beautiful. Like the drive itself was taxing, but once I got there, I was like, damn, this is really just nice and just peaceful, tranquil. And not only was it people there going, but it was like a community garden or type.
Yeah, so it's at Snug Harbor Cultural Center and Botanical Garden. So it's like the whole space is like 250 acres worth of land. So they have like their own farm. They have like where we have was like the South Meadow. So like it's just a giant meadow where they usually have like festivals and things like that. So where we were at was about maybe 2 or 3 acres of space that we had like outdoors. So it's like a cultural center, but it's also like a botanical garden. And they have like their Chinese scholars garden. I know too much because I used to work there too.
So you already had the plug. You were just like, I'm already here.
It just
I know
looked
who
like
to talk to.
there was so much already going on.
Yeah.
And like as I was on stage, like just using my time, I'm like interacting with people that don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7 people off to the side, but I see them looking at me, so I just started talking. Like, yeah. So it was a really good time, really fun time. Tell us about your upbringing with anime. We were talking about that briefly a little bit.
Oh yeah. So like I really got introduced to anime because of my older brother. He's like 7 years older than me.
Okay.
And I was that like sibling that wanted to do everything their older sibling did. So I was like, anime, okay, video games, okay, rock music, got you. Like that was like me growing up. So like we would watch like 4Kids TV and like Toonami. So like Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura.
Shout out 4Kids.
4Kids.
All y'all, everybody want to shit on
Solid
them
dub.
now.
Better dub than you would honestly think.
That's what we had.
That's what we had.
You gonna complain about it?
Yeah.
No.
That's what we had.
Nope. I'll go back and watch it.
They
It's
wrapped
dope
One
now.
Piece to you. Come on.
Yeah, no,
Come
that's what I'm
on.
saying. That's
They
what I'm
made
saying.
a
Do
whole
One
rap.
Piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they also do Poke Rap?
Yeah, they did
Yes.
the Poke Rap.
Come
yeah.
on. Come on.
Because
Yeah.
it was a trend. Like they did like a hard, super clean 4Kids logo.
They
Yeah.
did.
It was
yeah.
like very clean,
Gleaming.
sharp.
It was like, yeah.
And then it was like, well, we're going Saturday morning, so we got to balloons.
They made it
and
bendy
colors.
like on that WB type. Yeah.
But it fit what the programming block they had, because you had One Piece, Ultimate Muscle, Kirby,
Oh,
Sonic
I love
X,
Ultimate Muscle.
it's in my top 10. I commented on that top 10 joint.
TMNT.
Yeah.
Premiered on
That's
the Fox
true.
box.
It did.
It was on the Fox box. Shaman King.
Oh, Shaman King's so good.
The first, the last American adaptation of Kamen Rider.
Oh my goodness, that's right.
They had a lot, and it just didn't like children's program was just dying at that point. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but yeah. So yeah. Now, thank you for pointing that out. I'm not the only one on that ship.
No,
Talking about
no,
4Kids.
that
4Kids,
was
yeah.
4Kids TV and Toonami were like my two combined
Gotcha.
things like together, because I really liked that. I really was a big fan of like Yu Yu Hakusho. Loved Inuyasha. Was very much so of a Koga girl when I was younger. Love me Koga. I didn't care about Inuyasha. I didn't care about Shishomi. I didn't care about
Koga.
I was like, I like Koga.
That was he was from like the Tribal Wolves, right?
Yeah, he's from the
Yeah,
Tribal Wolves.
yeah.
I was like, take Kagome, please. Like, Inuyasha's trash. Like,
He's only crying for Keiko.
yeah,
like,
he's after
Yeah.
Kikyo. Like, come on, sir.
Yeah.
Like, goodbye.
my only problem with Inuyasha that we spoke of is that that was maybe on my bad just from watching it on Toonami. No, not Toonami, Adult Swim.
Adult Swim, yeah.
Was that every time I saw it, I was like, all right, something gonna happen. Even when it was a fight, it just felt very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Or like everybody was dealing with too much of their own thing in the battle.
Yeah.
That I'm like, where you go? Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
how many times is what's my man? The girl with the boomerang.
Oh, my goodness. My brain just freeze. But I know what
Right?
you're talking about. She has, like, the little boomerang
Yeah,
thing. And she
giant one on her
Is
back
it
with the
Sango?
strap.
Sango,
Red,
yeah.
red,
Sango.
It's
red and black.
I think it's
Red and
Sango
black.
because she has, like, her little,
Or pink
like,
and black.
like, what do you call it? Like a little
The
fox thing. Like,
I thought the
Kiara,
fox was
Kiria.
called
Yeah.
Sango, but it's not. Okay.
No, I think, like, the fox is called, like, Kiara or Kiki.
Yeah, it's like Kiara. Every time she would show up, she fighting like, oh, here come her brother. Oh, now she can't fight no more. Like, and then
Literally.
and then it'll be was it Moroku with the hole?
Yeah.
He'd show up, and now he's holding off all of these demons. He can't move.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Kagome is trying to keep the sacred jewel. Like, it'll be like every fight kind of be like that. And it kind of got
You know what?
interesting.
You know what? Now that you're describing it, it's kind of like you playing D&D. Like somebody's just a dedicated
No,
healer.
but that's insane. It is
Every
like
fight
that.
they just break off, and it's like not everybody's really doing heavy hits. Like they just playing their role.
No, but it's kind of like even if you play like Final Fantasy, like how you have to, if you play each character, you have to wait for the person to like do the
Turn-based.
move.
Turn-based.
It's like it really was turn based.
Damn, we watched Final Fantasy.
like if you think about it, it really was a turn-based, but it formed into an anime.
Yeah.
Like it got kind of good when they did that arc when they revived those bandits. It was
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
seven.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it was kind like that was kind of fun watching, but it was just still more the same. I was like, this just ain't for me. I'm like, cause it looks dope.
It looks
It
good.
looks it's cool. His sword got different forms, got
Yeah,
upgrade.
yeah.
Like
bright red bottoms, just red, just bright. Just
Kagome got nice with the bow.
Yeah,
like
she
start mixing
did.
like magic with it, and then I'm like, just still not hitting for me.
Nah, I'm like a big like cheesy romance person. Even though I already know like it's gonna be back and forth nonsense, I was like, this is great. When I was like 12 or 13, like watching this stuff. But I'm also like a really big fan of like openings and endings. So I was like, I thought
Classic.
they slapped.
They had classics.
You know,
They had classics.
made me cry.
Which do you have a favorite anime opening? Or
I feel like I sound so cheesy saying Bluebird.
by
I forgot the name, but it's an Naruto opening.
Is it the one where they're all running down the hill? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the most popular one.
Yeah, but it's so
Or
good.
not even so much most popular, just the one that I see the most of that screenshot.
If not that one, because I'm a really big Bleach fan, it's like, oh gosh, how does it go? Oreta o ai suzeta kimi no sugoshi.
Is that an ending?
Yeah,
that's when they got calm. Yeah, they got calm. Yeah, he started doing like a ballad.
Yeah.
And, he's all like,
And they got the grain filter on them, so it looked like some.
And then they go.
all they had to do was just have him in the rain. That would have been like a perfect 90s R&B shot.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Ripping
All
a
right.
fake vest off.
My favorite Naruto is still Fighting Dreamers. That's
Fighting Dreamers? Yeah.
Yeah, I could like start singing that right now.
Right?
Yeah.
because that take me
Yeah.
back to like my YouTube Naruto watching days.
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
I watch a lot of AMVs. Naruto.
Oh man, so many of them. Okay, all right. So 4 years, your own convention, self-produced, on Staten Island. Grew up watching anime with your brother, inspired you, and your 4 kids. And Toonami, Avid. Why weren't we friends? Why weren't we friends?
Right.
I don't know. I'm friends now.
Right. Yeah.
All in due time. And I was gonna say, like, on that note, did you actually have trouble finding other friends? Like, obviously you had your brother, so it was kind of in house, but like, because for us, like, we spent a lot of our time in the South. We had family up in the North, and we spent time up here, up and down the East Coast. But in the South, it was so spread out. So it was like trying to find people of color who like this stuff, and I didn't feel awkward doing it. Like, did you find that here in New York, or did you have to travel out of Staten?
So, like, for me, I was like a nerd in a wholesome type of way, I like to say. So, like,
Explain.
so, like, I was that kid who, like, loved science. I had, like, a bug dictionary. Like, I would, like, that. I was that kid.
The proud, like, yes, I have straight A's and a 4.5 GPA.
Yeah, like, I was in, like, honors classes. Like,
Susie
I was...
Carmichael life.
Not what
Literally.
not what they call a nerd now. Was like, nah, nigga, you lazy. Like, that's not productive.
Yeah,
that
like-
you watch 12 anime at once and that's it.
Yeah.
You're failing your classes.
No, like,
don't
I
do
was-
any extracurricular activities. You don't have any skills, my nigga. Get it together, man.
So I was, like,
Drowning.
nerd wholesomely.
Got you. Okay, and
yes.
then everything else was just adjacent to
Yeah,
it.
so like it was like hard, like making friends. Period, because I was bullied a lot when I was younger, because racism. So like it was like really difficult. Growing up with that. Sorry, I like do random singing moments.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. No,
It's
no.
like it goes over.
That's how we lighten the load. What
Yes.
you talking about?
Yes.
This is how we
That's how I
got
get
through.
through my day to day.
Literally. So like
What?
that was really tough.
Life gets you down. Do a jingle real quick.
Right.
Jingle real quick. Get
Put a
yourself
pep in my step.
reset.
That's it. All right, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, but no, it was like really, really hard. Because I actually went to an Islamic school. Like I'm Muslim, if anyone can't tell.
Okay.
So like I went to an Islamic school. They were like super racist. I was like the only black kid. It was really, really tough.
Wow.
I always say like religion doesn't stop anyone from being like racist or prejudiced or like just discriminatory in any
They'll
type
find
of
a
way.
way.
Some people just want to be superior, and it's like I bleed too. Like come on,
Right.
you know, like.
Right.
My kidney ain't different than your kidney. Like, what's
Exactly.
going on? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So, like, that was tough. And then I went into public school, but then I was also the only, like, Muslim. And, like, I wore hijab since I was, like, in 5th grade. So, for me, that was really tough because, like, during the times, all people were like, oh, like, you're a terrorist, you're this, and like that was just like that was really rough for me to like deal with that. I was like, but I don't do anything.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
You know,
we in the same class.
You
Right.
in the same class.
Yeah.
If anything, if you think that why you making fun of me? I could do something. You not scared? Like what the heck? You know,
Right.
like on a logical sense. But like as a kid, like it was just really, really rough trying to like find my way and like navigate like myself, like with style, like how I talk, because I talked proper, so I talked white. So it was just like
white. Yo.
it was just like a combination of different things. So I was just like, I ain't telling nobody what I like. I ain't telling nobody nothing. I ain't trying to have nobody make fun of me for nothing. You ain't know nothing about me. Okay, you just know I get good grades and I come to school.
That's all I come here to do.
That's all I come here for.
That's it.
That's it. I don't care.
What grade were you in when you went to public school?
5th grade.
Fifth grade.
Okay.
How was that transition?
It was weird because my mom didn't know how to dress me.
Ooh.
So she had me, I will never forget the first day of
Not
school.
5th grade.
So she had me in this like magenta top with like those little sequins on it or something. Love my mother, but you did me dirty.
Damn.
And then I had like these like wide leg jean bottoms
No.
and like the ugly belt and like black like church shoes. Mind you, I don't go to church, like, but like you know. Like,
You want to
church
hear
shoes.
something hilarious? There's like 5 people on the train right now with that exact same outfit. That exact same
That's
outfit
what I'm
right now.
saying.
Right now.
Why?
Right now.
Yeah.
Sequence magenta, you brush it up and it turns turquoise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
it
and
wasn't
a
cool.
ferret skin scarf just to add accent.
And a Supreme hat.
They don't know what they want to be today.
Yeah, it was like, I was like, Mom, what is wrong with you? So like that was just really tough because like I wore like uniform for like forever. So when I went to public school, I was like, okay, maybe my mom will know how to dress me. She did not. So
Yeah.
like it was just really, really tough. Like I know how to dress now as an adult, but like then I was like, I'm only getting bullied because I'm smart. I'm getting bullied because I'm black. I'm getting bullied because I'm wearing a hijab and I don't know how to dress.
Damn. It's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
What do you want from me,
Yeah.
man? Yeah.
Like in this moment, like just
Jesus
take me away.
Christ, man. It's like I didn't even mention anime or video games. It's like, damn.
Like, I didn't even. I was like, I ain't doing that because
Right.
y'all already being
I
weird.
can't handle this.
Yeah.
But like I think the first friend I ever made that like was into this stuff was in like junior high school, and like she had like one of those like anime pin. I don't remember what it was, and I was like, friend, like, and like she's Puerto Rican, and I was like, I really like your pin. She's like, oh wow, like thank you. I was like, I know.
The last a stand user has a pin.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I know. In fact, let's become friends. And she's the one that actually introduced me to like K-pop and like different things like that. So I was like,
So she threw you in it.
I didn't care. I love because like I was really into like J-rock and stuff like that. So like for me, I was like completely fine with like the transition over.
Gotcha.
So like that was a lot of fun.
I wasn't hip to majority of Asian media, like past anime and karate flicks until internet. Like like 08, 09.
Yeah.
0809.
And that was
going into
still
high
like
school. Yeah.
sprinkles.
Sort of, yeah.
It was like I wasn't looking for. I was just happened to see it, and then like, all right, cool.
As a
And then
kid, it
that's
was just like we had a TV, or if you could get access to the internet. This is late 90s, early 2000s. It's not the whole phone in your pocket situation.
Yeah.
It's crazy that I'm saying it's only been like 20-year difference, but it really was like that. We were searching for it, and then for me, like high school, like getting on proxies and figuring out how to just bootleg the internet at school. There were like just to play flash games for like a hot minute.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then close it, figuring out how to hide tabs. Like it was just training for like espionage. It was almost like that Naruto scene where it's like they cheating off the test. That's the real test.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's the
mean?
real test.
Like, and then like finding groups. Like high school, they would do like there was like an anime group, and like that was kind of how you sort of met your people.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was for me too.
No, but that's what you find. Like you find your people, and then from there, I felt like I also had the confidence to be like, let me actually explore this more.
Yeah, because after a while, you just got tired of it. It's like, all right, I found 3 people in this school. That I
Yeah,
can talk
fuck
to
the rest
us
of y'all.
about.
Yeah.
I'm over this.
Forget that.
Yeah.
Forget that. I'll talk to you about some other
Like
stuff.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
ball. I'm not a baller. I'm not gonna ball.
I'm adjacent. Y'all want me to so bad,
Yeah,
but I keep telling you.
I'm 5'7" on a windy
You
day.
know we
my
not
nigga.
gonna win.
We not doing this.
You know we not
Yeah,
gonna
we're not doing this. Like we not.
You know we not.
We're not doing this. Yeah, and I ain't had the confidence to rap at the time. Like so, I'm just like I'm not.
no.
You know what I mean? You gotta pick the list. I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna hang out.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's weird. It's like because I was like I was literally that. I was like that nerdy girl. Like I was that black nerdy girl, and then like I'm like that black Muslim nerdy girl. Because again, man. I wore like I was like the only person that wore hijab like at pretty much at most public schools I went to up until like high school. And so like again, a lot of people would be like, oh, like do you know that? Like I listened to rock music for like the longest time. Didn't really listen to like rap like that.
That was the
so that was another thing that was like making me different from like quote unquote like other black people who have like my black card taken away. It's like, oh, do you know this song? I'm like, no, I don't know.
We had such
like,
the transition. Like, first, shout out to MTV for still playing music videos in the morning. Like, 04, like 2010.
VH1 held on even longer too.
True.
Because I think they were doing like top 100 hits. So they were just playing everything. So now I'm just getting exposed to stuff. So now I'm like surprised at my friends, like with just random fact. I remember one time my friends telling me about Skrillex. And then I see what he looked like, and I'm like, hold up, is that, like, who is this guy? They was like, oh, he used to be in a band. He was in
a rock band, yeah.
And then his voice started deteriorating. And I was like, wait, what was the name of it? Like, is that Sonny from First to Last? They were like, Gerard, why do you know that? Like, why do you, I was like, look, I was hanging around a scene girl that wore, what she had.
Isn't that crazy? You had to backpedal almost like some Invasions of Body Snatchers. You're like, are you real? Like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. I'm sorry. And I don't know where I heard that from, man. You know what I'm saying? I was
not even that. I'm like, this is why I know it. I used to hang out with this emo girl in middle school, and she told me about Sonny from First to Last.
Yeah.
And then y'all start listening to Skrillex. And somehow 5 years later we get the pieces together. Somehow don't look at me.
By a thread.
Yeah. So it's a just that whole transit. I would say we had help because I remember specifically that it was a Korn song called "Twisted Transistor."
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
In the music video, they had it was Snoop Dogg, Lil Jon, Exhibit. I forgot who the fourth guy was, but playing as Korn in the video. It was a spoof as a whole. It was like dumb funny and just.
Was it Fred Durst had a method feature?
Come on. But shout out to black people though. We're finally getting together. I see so many alternative black kids now, which is just normal now. Just like everywhere.
Oh yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like, I was that and I was that. And it was like as we keep mentioning
Bro, we were the prototype. Like it was
I was that kid.
Yes.
I wore graphic T-shirts and like netted gloves in high school.
Oh man, I remember distinctly like junior, senior, high school, graphic tees, all the Marvel stuff. Y'all want to talk about now?
Well, they got us. They had us in Hot Topic. That's why they had us in there. You know, and it's like it's crazy.
My plug was Walmart.
Walmart?
Really?
Walmart,
yeah.
I was in a rural South.
Ah, that makes sense.
That's all I had. But I would get like real specific like tees and like flannels and things like that. I'm like, all right, I'll get that. That looks cool. Or like finally be able to like shop on the internet. I was like, well, let me get that. Like I was trying to collect all the Lantern Corps t-shirts.
Oh, nice.
I was like, that knocks out my whole wardrobe for the year. That's it. I don't need another shirt.
What?
All the colors from black to purple. Like, let's go. Like, so it was definitely that. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk some gaming.
Ooh.
I'm curious. What's your palette like for gaming? What you playing currently?
So right now I'm playing Tokiden. Like it's similar to like Monster Hunter, like in essence of like how the gameplay is, but essentially it's like you're like this person from like rural like era of like Japan, and like you're fighting like these monsters, but they have like miasma like all around kind of thing.
Like
so
like
like the poison and stuff like that. So like you're just trying to protect this village, but also like figure out like how you got to where you are, because you know you're not from this time period kind of thing. So like that's pretty cool. Like you have different like weapons that you can play to like kind of increase like your proficiency in it and different things like that. Or like you can even have like a familiar with you. So that's pretty cool. But I only recently just started playing it again because like I was really busy in like grad school and like working at the same time. So now that I'm like,
shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
What degree are you working on?
So I actually graduated last May with my degree in art therapy.
Nice.
Really? Mm-hmm. So is that kind of go hand in hand with like mental health as well?
Yeah. So like we utilize like different art materials to help people like who have different like mental health disorders or learning disabilities, or even people who are like incarcerated and stuff like that. So just helping people with like expressing themselves through different media. So like painting, drawing, making a puppet, making a mask, putting together a collage, writing poetry, different things like that.
Oh. What made you go for that?
I love art. I'm an artist.
And it does have its power. It
Right.
really does have its power there. Yeah.
There's a need for it. So yeah, that's what I've been trying to promote. Now I'm like, man, go get a skill, or if you want to stick to the artist route, figure out how to expedite it.
Yeah.
Do it. Been doing a podcast for 2 years, and then finally I was like, well, then learn all of this stuff. Let me try to get paid for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
use it. I truly believe this day and age there shouldn't be a thing. There shouldn't be a thing as a starving artist. That shouldn't exist anymore. I really think.
That makes so much sense, 'cause especially like with like the burst of like stuff with TikTok within like the last 2 years. Like there's so many ways that you can like outsource yourself.
Yeah.
And like there's so much more like ways that we can connect with different people, even like across the world. So like even if it's not working out here in your hometown, it could work somewhere else in another city, or like you can send it somewhere, or different things like that, and you can really interconnect. I'm also a big advocate for people to try to learn how to speak other languages as well, because that really, really can help you. Not even just speaking the language, but learning the culture where you learn the language from. Because so many people will learn a language, but then they're like, well, I know nothing. You know, like I know might sound a little like hitting somebody's in the gut, but it's like,
go for it.
Yeah,
like people who are like,
what's they at?
Get it off. Load it up. Load it up.
No. But like people who, let's say, right? They're like, they learn Japanese, right? But all they think Japan is like Akihabara, right?
Yeah,
like they just think it's that. Like they don't think there's like Yamanashi-ken. They don't think there's anywhere else in Japan. They just think like, kawaii. Like there's like
one of my first guests, comedian, all around entertainer, Na Kiramoto here in the city. Like she's explained, like just from many conversations I had with her and just talking to her, and then even like she was like, no, like they really look at the scale of Japan. She was like, the population is like what she say, like 130 million.
Yeah,
and then realizing like, wait, I only hear about Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo. There's so many small towns and villages and just pockets of just land.
Yeah.
They still have indigenous people in Japan.
Yeah.
Don't even really talk about the north because all that shit's in south, like that southeast. What's going on in the north? You know what I mean?
Mountains. north.
Yeah.
North.
But that's really true. So like I always try to like tell people like, you know, if you're really interested in learning a language, make sure you learn the culture that comes with it, because language is affected by like the culture too. You know, so it's like, that's like a pet peeve of mine. That it's like, oh wow, like you like anime, so like you like speak Japanese, or like, oh, like if you learn Japanese, it's simply because you're just interested in anime, but you're not interested in any other part of like Japanese culture. Right. It's like there's so much more to it.
So much. Luckily, I'm learning Spanish now again, but in high school. Luckily, I had a teacher. One, it was a woman from Mexico, and then I had a teacher that just pretty much just jumped into the whole like Latin, just culture and whatnot, because they clearly talked about like, all right, well, this is how the day to day goes. Yeah. Like in places like Mexico, students, like one thing that stuck out in my mind is that lunch is a big deal. Like people will go home to have lunch. Yeah. And then go back to what they're doing. Like in the middle of the day. Breakfast is not big. Dinner is almost non-existent. Yeah. Like it's little things like that you learn, so that way you're not looking like a complete tourist when you go.
Seeing how the, like, getting to, I mean, obviously entry level being anime, but then realizing like the subtle jokes when you watch like a slice of life or like a family anime where you're like, oh, this is the dynamic of this people's household. And it's like, it's different because they on the other side of the planet. You got to respect it and also just learn about it. Like there's like, it's if you're one of those people who actually wants to dig deeper, like this shit's just interesting.
Yeah, like it's really interesting because like I've been to Japan before, so like
we getting the badge soon. We getting that badge very soon.
Dragging my feet on it, but
it's really expensive trying to fly out from New York specifically to there. If you're in like California, it's cheaper because like it's closer. Right there. It's hot, but like from New York, it is like really expensive. I only went because I was doing study abroad for school, so like I was already on that hemisphere.
Look at you! Resume.
You might have too many credits for this podcast, miss. I didn't.
No, I don't think so.
So you actually speak fluent Japanese?
No, I don't. The languages I speak more fluently is like Mandarin, like Chinese, and then Korean are like the two languages. Japanese was really difficult for me because I learned Chinese first.
Wow.
Even though Japanese and Korean come from Chinese, Japanese has so many different components in it that like my brain automatically just does Chinese instead of Japanese instead. So like even like the word for like student And like Korean is similar to like student and like let's say Cantonese, because I also try learning Cantonese like a crazy lady. I just stick to one language.
See, like I didn't know in China it's like no, people speak Mandarin and Cantonese. Like,
yeah. And then depending on the region, there's different dialects. So there's like Fushionese, Shanghainese, different things like that.
Fushionese, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like there's like the word like student, which is like hoksang in like Cantonese, but in like Korean it's haksang. So like my brain just uses like the Chinese one instead of using the Korean one. I forgot, my brain is like forgetting now what it is in Japanese, but it's like it's hard that too, and because there's like hiragana, katakana, like romanji, like there's different things in Japanese where it's like it's the written language, it's the spoken language, it's the language that you use if you're translating things from like an English word to a Japanese word, and then there's like also like what's considered like a formal thing. So for me, that's 4 categories too much as of right now.
Just to talk.
Just to talk.
That's
and also too, they have like they're similar to Chinese where there's like they have categorical words, so like words that go with other words. So like there's like measure words for things, or like there's also that on top of you trying to speak the language with all the other components.
It's wild.
This is why you got your PlayStation.
It's wild.
This is why you got your cell towers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like,
definitely.
Like the nuance. That's
Have you played a foreign game like in a completely different language before?
Not well. When I was in Hong Kong, that's when I started playing like League and stuff like that. Okay. So like I did play with people who did speak Chinese.
What are you playing on also, by the way? Like, is it like that game you were just talking about? Was that Switch or was that?
I was playing it on my computer.
PC?
Yeah,
PC game?
So you're a PC gamer?
Yeah, I prefer PC for like games like that.
Okay.
As opposed to like playing it on like any other like console.
Okay.
Like, but I will say I'm always for PlayStation. I'm not the biggest fan of Xbox.
PlayStation just it stays. It's
just too consistent.
It stays at the top.
Yeah.
Strong number 2, because it'll flop with the number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Because PS2 just championed it. It just bodied everything.
Yeah.
Bodied everything. It made Sega sit down. It made Microsoft get in the game.
Yeah.
GameCube couldn't even compete.
No.
And then PC gamers just had to you just stayed
Nintendo always on their own lane.
You just did your own thing, and then PS just swept it. Game catalog insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then everybody had a PS2. Everybody had a PS2.
No, I actually was having a similar conversation like with the PS5. Like I was like, they should have had like backwards compatibility like they did with the PS3. And then people were like, oh, well, they want to make more money. But I was like, okay, if I'm trying to make more money in my mind, I would do that. I would make the PS5 have backwards compatibility all the way to the PS1.
Yeah.
So that way people who are reminiscent, because we are in an age where people want to get what they used to play when they were younger, different things like that.
Yeah.
We're now at the age where we have money to get those things. Therefore, you're putting more money in the market for those types of areas, plus putting more money in your pocket because more people are going to be willing to trash their PS4 or PS3 if they still have their PS3 to get the PS5 to play those same games. So you're still paying for it.
Yeah.
You know, so in my mind, I was like, shoot, I should be in their office because they making bad decisions.
You on your way.
Right. You're only a Japanese character away
exactly
from getting in the Sony offices.
Right.
But that's funny you mentioned that because like they, I think the PS3 had the biggest category for like backwards stuff or stuff that just wasn't even available.
Yeah.
Like here in the States, unless you just had to connect.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what they're doing with that because they started re-releasing some HD versions of like PS2 games for like PS4, but they don't do anything else with it.
It's the PS Now thing and like the streaming and like you pay the $9.99 you can download. The problem is
so much money.
Is that they don't have all the licensing for all the different types of games that came out over the years. So some people are paying $200 for that PS1, PS2 copy, but then also got to buy another thing. When you're right, if they just put it all on the new platform.
I feel like they wouldn't lose out as much on money because if the idea is like, oh, we're gonna lose out because we want everybody to buy PS5 games, it's like people will still buy PS5 games because there'll still be games that will come out. So I feel like that shouldn't even be like a thought process or worry that someone's gonna buy those games because it's gonna be games that come out. Which means that they're gonna use most likely be for the newest console. No one's making a PS2 or PS3 new game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like if you do the backwards compatibility, then it's like, hey, I still have my PS3, PS2 games have been collecting dust. I can finally play because I haven't even to play or my PS3 died. You know what I mean? Like I can still use that. Plus, if it's like, man, I have been waiting to play this game for the longest time. Like people will go out and buy those games. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that still allows you to market and profit off of that if they just did backwards compatibility with the PS5.
They're like doing like select stuff. I think 360 did that. It was like select very specific games luckily it was like most of the games I already played will like work on it, and I think it's the same thing with like the PS5.
Yeah,
But
it's the streaming versions, and I'm just like, man, you've been talking about this for a minute. Like, there's nothing wrong with a good physical copy every once in a while.
It's stable.
Nothing wrong with it.
I will say the best one that I bought, it's even crazy, I'm making a statement. The best physical copy game I've had in this newer generation is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
Because it's so much content between those 3 games. Forget the DLC for all of them. There's so many hours you put in for doing everything in all 3 of those games. It's intense. So they're like, all right, it's already Blu-ray, but it's still not enough. Yeah. They made a game disc and a data disc. You install with the data disc first, and then once you pop the game in, you just let it run. You just let it run. Yeah. Mass Effect already is kind of like a sketchy game to play, like all 3 of them, because it's bloated. Yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot going on. So like you just got to take that. But the fact that it's like, oh, I don't got to go through the whole installing it, and they got to update, and then all of this for the DLC. It's like, no, you put this in first, it will install. Then you just go. You just go from there. But beyond that is just having digital stuff. I'm like, oh, it's not connected to the internet. So now these 6 games that are sitting on my HUD. Yeah. I can't touch.
And that's what I'm saying, because it's like, because we're in such like a digital age, it's like, oh, okay, I just have to, I'm like, if your internet is down and you want to play a game, you can't do nothing.
Can't do nothing.
You're stuck.
Can't do nothing. And even
you're stuck.
Yeah. Even I just found out with my copy of Batman Arkham Knight. Since I have all the DLC, if I'm not connected to the internet, regardless if I got the game, I can't play it.
All right.
Now you got to get your hotspot out. And now you got
no. And like I understand why, because the game is so massive that it's like it's like one of those
almost like cloud games where it's like you gotta keep it on.
Yeah. It's mainly because of the map of the game. Yeah. There's no loading screens. It's just open. Like it's just open.
Like it's automatically there.
You're just driving. Oh, I'm gonna go to this deal. Like it's just there. So I get it, but I'm like, I don't know if I like this game. And that's why I'm glad I started a physical collection again. Over the pandemic, I bought a DS. I started buying Game Boy games again. PS2 collection looking dumb. Yeah. PS3's games is there. Like,
it's fine, you good, bro.
I started getting Wii games, like some titles I just never played, like was it the last games I bought was the Naruto and that One Piece game.
I know you're talking about like
the Dragon Blade Chronicles, and then the Unlimited Adventure. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Both of them are pretty fun. The One Piece game, I was like, yo, this is a whole like just camping sim. I'm just playing
with One Piece characters.
What? We just washed away on this island. It's like, where's everybody at? Go find everybody. Damn, where's camp at? All right, we got camp. Damn. Nobody can cook. Chopper can't make medicine. It's just like, oh, we got materials. Like, oh, here's a pickaxe. Like, all right, get that. Like, oh, Chopper, I found some clay. Now you can like got a brick and mortar. Like, oh, Sanjay, I made a stove for you. Like, get
Animal Crossing.
You can't do literally
One Piece edition. Yeah.
But you get to slap some Marines around. So I was like, that's the only thing that keeps me sane. Yeah. It's the only thing that keeps me sane. Because I will say one of the hardest things, you got to catch bugs in there.
He's got like a hit limit. Like there's got to be a hit within a certain time frame.
If you got me just walking around, I'm like, you got to. So where's it coming from? Some type of action sequence.
Yeah.
Even if it's not hitting, all right, do I get to drive something? Like
pick something up, throw something.
Something. Yeah. Do I get to do something? But it's that, and then they got RPG elements with like your characters upgrading the more you fight, you unlock moves, and a whole game I missed out on generations ago. And I get to play it. I'm like, damn, this is so much fun. This is so much fun.
Exactly.
So much fun, man. But they're making a One Piece RPG game coming out this
year. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, nice. RPG. I'm glad they're getting away from like the big like Dynasty Warriors type
open world, just
arena fighters,
hack and slashy type.
Yeah, like hopefully it's turn based. They take it back to that because I know they've been messing around with that format too over the last few years.
If they would like heavy with the Digimon games being a lot like focusing on turn based, all that stuff. Like it needs a comeback. Like, it's just fun.
Bring it back.
It's fun. Dragon Quest still hitting with the turn base. It's
That's it. That's
long overdue.
That's all you need, man. That's all you need.
I got a question. Because actually, and it's funny, this season of Negro Jump, we've had a lot more female presence, which we've been trying to for a minute. And one of our earliest episodes, We had a comedian Mae Durant on, and one of my favorite quotes from that episode was specifically black women who like anime. He's like, I didn't know y'all existed. Because there was no connection. It was so early. We already in the South. It's already scattered to try to find this medium. And then it's like trying to even approach women, talk to women, realize that women like this stuff. Did you have an issue being like a woman who, specifically a black woman who liked anime? And then did you find like a group, or when did you sort of find that community? Because now it's great. They're everywhere, and it's beautiful to see.
We everywhere now. But yeah, no, it was tough. Like like the first ever like black woman that I ever met that was into anime was actually at my high school's like anime club. Side note, I was the president at one point. Just throwing it out there.
What was that like, the anime club?
It was interesting at first because we were like the definition of weebs. We were certainly we would watch anime together, or like we played like different like Japanese games and stuff like that. But my high school also had this thing called International Festival, so we would go and be able to do like different anime dances, or like do dances to do different anime songs as like a performance. So that part was like really cool. Or we would like rave with like glow sticks and stuff. So like that was pretty fun. But like I would say like now as like an adult, I do have like a core group of friends, and we are all like black educated nerds that all love anime or K-pop or learning about different cultures, and like we cosplay together. Like we have group cosplay that we did last year. We all were like Bleach captains, so like that was pretty cool.
What were you?
So I was like Yoruichi when she was a captain.
Hell yeah. Yoruichi with she put the hers was like the vest white robe, right?
Yeah. So I cosplayed as Yoruichi. We had Hitsugaya, we had Kenpachi, we had oh my god, my brain is blanking out, but we had like a lot of them because there was like 5 of us. So we were all like on Saturday at Anime NYC. Actually, we all cosplayed as like Bleach captains, and I was like, "Yes, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life."
The closest I ever had to a cosplay, or like group cosplay, my senior year. It was a couple of us just wore a bunch of Power Ranger t-shirts.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, because it was like randomly there would be like weird groups of people, seniors, and they would like, oh, like these 6 people were wearing these shirts for something weird. But like, of course, everybody's like, well, what are they doing? I feel left out. But then after a while, I'm like, this just looks goofy. Like it's not really. There's no club. There's just a picture.
Yeah.
It's some shirts.
You didn't go farther than that. You didn't go farther. Go farther.
Like at first I was hating, but then I was just like, hey, you just doing whatever you doing. And then this is why I was in the graphic tees. Had my own job and whatnot. And then I remember I was about to get a Green Ranger shirt. And then my boy Rashard, shout out my boy Rashard. He was a whole ass athlete, and he seen that. He was like, let me get the red one. I was like, all right, cool. He handed me a 20 right then. Handed me a 20 right then. And then we wore them on like a prom weekend. We had a bunch of us ran out of a beach house, put the shirts on like the last day. Everybody was like, hey, hold the fuck up. Where y'all get these from? They was like, hold up. Where y'all get these shirts from? And then we got, getting the Black Ranger, the Blue Ranger. My boy, Audie, he wanted to be all the way different. He's like, give me the white one. I was like, nigga, we already got a green. He's like, I don't care. He said, give me the white one. And then we just had a pink. We didn't have a yellow though, but we took pictures. I think that was on my Facebook right now still.
Oh yeah,
that's dope.
We're gonna find
a picture.
That's getting thrown up in the edit.
That's dope.
Thrown up in the edit.
That was like the closest. Damn, what would be a fun?
I haven't yet. The only thing I would do is maybe I was thinking just something simple, because like if I go, I kind of still want to do like interviews and stuff. I don't want to be too unless I like pick a day. Yeah. But like Boji from Ranking the Kings, because that's just like a simple like you just put like the green joint with the mini crown, and then just
little fluff.
Joint. Boom.
No, that's nice. No, I like it was really tough though, because I was like, I don't know if you like what I like though. Like I don't know.
See, like, that's when it gets even more awkward.
Right.
We're like, oh, you watch anime? I was like, what do you watch?
That's what I'm saying. Because like for me too, it was tough because like I would get checked all the time about like whenever I did say I like anime around people. They might have to be black, white, Spanish, especially if it's a dude. No offense to y'all dudes.
No.
They would be like,
that was the next question. I was like, you had to check a nigga? Like,
so what's your top 5 anime? Me. And I was like, well, First of all, not Dragon Ball Z. Loved it growing up, but it's not there. So, because they would be like, oh, don't mention like what's popular. And I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, Inuyasha, Yu Hakusho, Wolf's Rain. Like, you know, these different things. And they're like, what? Like Pikachu meme, but like back then, you know what I mean? And it's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like
so you service level,
yeah,
right?
You know?
The game up.
So like that was just like it was like a lot of like proving myself when I did decide to step into certain spaces, or like especially because like now like anime and cosplay has become so popular, which I don't think is a bad thing. However, people can use it for like clout or to like look cool depending on like the spaces that you're in.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
And so for me, like because of that, and people not realizing still that I exist as a person, you know, they're like, oh wow, that's so cute, like you're cosplaying as Nezuko. Like, wow, do you even know anything? Yes, I do. I watched the whole thing. I read the manga.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's different levels to her? Did you see her with her little horn?
Somebody did that. That dude did that when we went to Washington Square Park.
Which one?
When we tried to shoot. This is like before COVID.
Oh, okay, got you.
And I was wearing the Black Lantern rain t-shirt. This shirt, I've had this shirt since high school. Like it's faded. I'm just wearing it. It was like he was wearing like a Joker hat or something. He was like, bro, you know what that is? I'm like, yeah, nigga, I know what this. Like, come on, trying to check me right now in public. Like, don't make me pull out my comic book card with a little bit of knowledge. I know, goddamn it. Like,
you got a minute? Sit down.
Yeah. Nah, I can only imagine that being so annoying. But that is a trip now that people use anime for clout. I'm like, this ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
This is doing nothing. You don't get no discounts.
Nope.
You don't get nothing. You don't get no free passes. Like nothing. You just keep paying your subscription, or you just keep getting viruses from the illegal sites you go to. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's not really doing much. Like, and then too, it doesn't help that you're adding to the conversation if you want to just keep gatekeeping. Like I think now is more intense. But I don't even feel it though.
We've had this discussion before. It's like you was the one crying like, oh, ain't no girls that like anime. Ain't no girls like anime. Won't talk to me. They right there, and then you just like, well, actually, I want to make sure she actually watch anime. Like, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, what's your problem? What is your problem?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want? Come on, man. What do you want?
What do you want?
You said you want to go to watch anime. It's 10 of them right there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, you just don't know how to talk. Got you. Understand.
You're too busy reading subtitles.
But that's really true. That's really true. Cause because I have like talked to like friends, like guy friends now that I have that like are into anime, and like I'm the one that talked to them. Like they didn't even like talk to me first. I was like, oh wow, that's really dope. Cause like I'm a relatively outgoing person, but also sometimes I'm like, don't talk to me. But like, you know, so like now they're like, yeah, you know, like had you not reached out to me, like I wouldn't even like know when to like talk to you. I was like, no, you good, homie. Like, you know, like it's good. Like
chill.
Like you chill. Like I'm not some special like intergalactic species. Like I'm just a human being that likes the same thing that you do. So like I do see that like kind of like on the flip side where there's like that awkwardness. Or it's like I have gotten to like, but do you really know though? I'm like, yeah, nigga, I know.
Did you learn that from being the president of the anime club?
I would say yes and no.
Okay.
So like, I didn't even want to be the president of my anime club because I was like, that's a lot of responsibility. I gotta do like the budget, and then I gotta figure out what you guys gotta do. Then I gotta figure out choreography. I don't even know how to dance. I used to be called the Realness Nation when I was younger. Like this is a lot. And so like that really was my name when I was younger. Mind you, I have like my parents are Jamaican. Yeah. And I used to be called the Rhythmless Nation. So like,
oh damn. The Rhythmless Nate.
That was my nickname growing up because I could not catch a beat.
And it sounded like you just took it on the chin like,
all right.
You know what? You're right.
You're right.
Can't do it.
Yo, ready for this two-step.
Yeah, like I have more rhythm now, but like it was just really bad when I was younger. So I was like, dang, how am I gonna do this? I have to create choreography. And in my mind, I'm like, they're gonna expect me to know how to dance because I'm black. And it's like there's just like all these different things. So much pressure. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'll take it. Like I got like voted in. I didn't even know that I was like put down on the ballot. I was voting for other people. I was like, yeah, we should do this. And then they're like, oh, Najah won. Najah didn't even put her name on the ballot. What do you mean?
I'm dead.
I was like, who did this? Was this a joke?
Cut the music.
Cut his mic.
Yeah, no, but like I was like the president like my senior year of high school, and like it was a lot of fun, and like I think that's where I kind of learned a lot of like my leadership skills by being in that position and having to be in charge of like a club of like 40 people.
Oh, it was that deep?
Damn.
It was a club of 40 people.
Yeah, mine was only like 10. That was if that.
I didn't even have one.
No.
If they showed up.
Like literally like all the weebs and nerds like all really congregated in that space. So like we had like a really large group that I had to like teach like 3 different dances. So I had to teach them like how to do like the intro dance to whatever we were doing, the middle dance, and then like the rave. And then I'd have to like instruct like my vice president and like the treasurer and the secretary to like do designated things. So like I learned a lot from that experience. But then like once I went to like college, like I didn't get into like a leadership position. Again, did not vote for myself. People keep voting for me and I don't know why.
They see it. They see it in you.
I don't know what they seeing.
They see it in you.
Sitting down like everybody else.
You're the protagonist.
Right? The protagonist doesn't know that they're protagonists. Like, I'm just sitting down, chilling, bro.
Right. Nah, so soon as you said that, I immediately go back to you pointing out Yu Yu Hakusho. It's like one of your favorites. And honestly, I feel like that's how Yusuke Urameshi was the entire show, which makes him such a relatable character. He's like, what do you mean I died? What do you mean I wasn't supposed to die? What do you mean I gotta be a spirit detective? Like
what do you mean?
what do you mean?
I got all this training? Come on.
Mom, what do you mean either get a job or leave? Like none of this makes sense. It wasn't until like in the 3rd season when he was like, all right, we're just rolling with it now. Like, like I heard what y'all said when I was dead on the ground. Like, yeah, all right.
I got these skills now. I
so
guess.
now I'm a demon too. Like,
I guess I'll do it. Yeah. So like, that was most certainly part of it.
Okay. All right. Nice. What's another good question?
Well, I was thinking, I was like, I guess did that lead you to making your con?
In
like,
a way.
realizing how to like.
So like what really allowed me to feel like I had like the power and the ability to do the con is like, because the convention is actually underneath my mom's, has her own nonprofit. So like it's underneath its own program, because I was actually the arts and culture director for the nonprofit. So I was like, I already handled like art expos and different things like paint and poetry and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I already know how to run like large scale events. Not to this extent, but I know how to like do it. I know how to do like COIs, like certificates of insurance, and all these other things. So
all
I was
the important stuff.
Yeah. And so like, you know,
really important stuff.
I knew how it worked. I knew how like to put together like stuff for a 501c3, like which is like the nonprofit like organization tab, or like how the tax exempt forms.
What's it called?
And like,
Spell it for me.
Yeah,
you got a
like,
link?
But like I looked into like, so I knew how to do all that stuff. I knew how to like make your own like business bank account, like all this other stuff I already knew how to do because of the experiences that I had. One, doing like presidential stuff and like student government things in college, and then also like working with my mom's nonprofit and just working with nonprofit organizations in the past, or like how to get grants, because like I had a previous job where I worked in like resource development and like helped them with like grant making and different things like that. So like that really made me feel like at that point I'm like, okay, I have all these skill sets, I think I can like do it, you know. Plus I was really involved with like my community in Staten Island, so like I would talk to a lot of people, figure out this is something I even like want to have, right? Like, you know what, like I was like, oh, what do you guys like, wouldn't that be crazy?
Yo, you like a whole, you should a whole Hokage right now.
She's seen potential.
Yeah.
She's seen the need.
Yeah, because I really did, because I was like, if I feel like this now still, like at the time I was like, what? Wait, how old am I? Hold on. I'm 26. That was like 2-3 years ago. Okay, I was like 23.
Yeah, that's big.
24.
Just throwing your shoulders like that.
Yeah, so like still feeling like there was no space like that anywhere on the island. So like I was like, okay, let me figure out if that's still a need, and if I'm just like adding on something that's already there. Because if there was already something there, I was okay with just helping support that and build that up, even if it wasn't my own. But since
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you know. So like since I didn't see that there was something like that there, I was like, all right, nah. Like,
and I feel like you in like a prime spot now, seeing like with all this blow up of Anime NYC, how it was like the biggest it had been in a minute, even after pandemic. And then from some friends who I know who cosplay, they're going to these like that were previously smaller cons in like Jersey, going up to Connecticut, things like that. They're just having like double the turnout than they had previous years. So like you're kind of in a good spot that like this shit can only grow. I feel like. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. We picked a really good spot because like I wanted the convention to utilize what Staten Island has the most of, which is space. And we have a lot of like outdoor space. Like, you know, we're like known as like the borough of parks. Like that's like an actual thing we're known for because we have a lot of parks. We have a lot of greenery.
Yeah.
That's what sparked my like. That's like once I finally got there.
Different because you were telling me.
I got out. I was like, oh, this is like really nice. I was telling him before. I was like, I wish I could stay, but I gotta go back home and find parking. But I was like, nah, this is just nicest to be here around like the fact that it's just outside. That meant I could just.
Yeah.
Freely just walk around.
And it's like really nice. And because Snug Harbor is like free to the public, like you can go to the other parts of the gardens and like the grounds that's not necessarily part of like the convention. So we have it where you can have like your own like photo shoot. So we have it designated where there's like photographers to take pictures of people, not just for like group shoots, but for like individuals, because some people have really fly cosplays or something they're just really proud of, but they have no one to take pictures of them. And like I tried to figure out like what would be something I would like as an attendee also too, or like what I've heard other people would want from other conventions like that aren't really there because they're so big or they're so crowded, or it's really hard trying to find like a really nice like scenery background because there's people walking around and different things like that. But because there's a garden, like there's literally like 5 different gardens at Snug Harbor outside of like the main venue area. So it's like you literally can go there with either your own photographer or one of our photographers and literally just have a whole shoot.
Right, because you indoor and just like somebody walking by with a Slurpee and it's like you fucking up the shot. And it's like
but you can literally like put yourself, because there's like the white garden that has like this archery way where it kind of looks like from like Howl's Moving Castle type stuff.
Still bad I missed it, but
there's literally a castle right next to where we are, you know, so like you can.
Takashi Castle. Takashi's Castle. Ready.
So there's like a lot of cool stuff that's already there, especially because it's in the summer. Like this year will be like August 13th, so like it's when the flowers are blooming. There's a lot of greenery. They already cut the grass. Like, you know, it's a really large space that allows you to be able to fully enjoy your cosplay, but also like just be around nature and just chill out.
Yeah.
Nice. Damn. Look at.
Right. She need to cut a commercial real quick.
I'm about to ask you for a job.
Exactly. Yo, you need promoters? You need somebody to edit your
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
All right. Let's get back to some anime. What are you currently watching now?
So what I'm currently watching right now is actually the 2nd season of like the Rising Shield Hero. Oh, that's amazing. It's really, really good.
First season was so good.
Yes.
First season was so good. It was recommended to me by, shout out to Patty, Chatty Patty from Black Ramen.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Shout out
Patty,
to her. She was like, trust me, you'll like it. And I watched it. I was like, yo, this is actually, because I'm not big into isekais. I'm like really not that big in it. Like the last one I tried was Sword Art Online. I didn't make it past the 2nd episode.
I have a second one to recommend to you. Actually, it's pretty good. It's like that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Actually,
he's watching.
Mine.
It's really
we
good.
literally are flip flop. He's heavy into Shield Hero. I'm heavy into slime, and like we're both doing the backwards.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to catch up on the first season. And I keep telling him like, yo, it's good.
I'm like, put it.
It's good.
It's good.
I literally
you kind of low key Rimuru a little bit. Like with
I love Rimuru though.
She building a nation right now. This is crazy.
I literally have a Cordero list. I'm like, all right, these are the things I need to watch that he's seen.
Vice versa.
So we have some type of talking points.
Yeah,
Nice,
something.
nice.
Like, all right, I gotta catch up on Baki. I gotta catch up on Ippo. I gotta catch up on.
That last the last season of Baki Hama, it was more funny than anything. I think for me, it was. I'm like, this is just hysterical.
You showed me an episode where Mike Tyson was in prison with him.
First of all, his reaction to it was like, Mike, what you doing in here? Like, it's like, Mike, you in here too? He's like, you gotta be number 2. He's like, nah, I don't want no parts of this. He's like, hold on, what the fuck going on in here? If Mike in here and he not involved, this shit must be crazy. Like, nah, that first of all, it started with him not seeing Mike in prison. He shadowboxed Mike Tyson. I'm like, all right, what you doing? Because you went from giving a kid a lesson. He took his shirt off and squared up with some little kid at the river. He was like, all right, put your hands up. You want to pull a knife out on me? Put your hands up. Then he spanks him across the river, makes him skip like a rock, and he's like, all right, like you took the hardest hit from me. You're a man now. You're a man now. And then he proceeds to, he was like, I gotta go warm up for my training, and you're going to shadowbox Mike Tyson. Like, I'm like,
Wild.
I love this show. I love
Wild.
this. Baki is kind of like the other side of JoJo, like that hyper masculinity, but it's pretty gay. It's pretty gay. Pretty it's hyper masculine.
A lot of muscle definition.
A lot of muscle definition. A lot of shirts
definition.
being taken off. At any point, someone will be fighting you in a bare draws, just bare draws, just because the situation, like just because it's there. So it's. And then JoJo, on the other hand, is like the most manliest like thing. Everybody got chiseled jaws and broad shoulders, chest out, but they all voguing and just you're right to the regular public. Regular public, it was like, what are these two niggas fighting over right now? just sturdiness in front of each other.
Pose off.
Right.
Are you? I guess you're more isekai, or is that because you've already named
What's your
two
preferred
so
genre?
far?
Yeah. What's your that you seem to always go back to? Not your favorite one, like it just keeps pulling you back. Like
It probably no. Sorry.
nah, take your time.
I don't know if I would say isekai. I do like them because like there's like funny ones like Konosuba, like that's hilarious for me, and I'm just like, this is hilarious. This is how it should be. Like, why am I here? Like I like isekais that are like that instead of being like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like what? You know you died, right?
Right, yeah. You in a whole nother place right now.
And like that's kind of like why like you know like Rising Shield Hero and like that time God Queen as Slime. He's like, what is going on? What's happening here? But I feel like because my favorite anime of all time right now is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
I started watching like two.
That
two
one's really
episodes
good.
of
Like
that.
I
It's
have
good.
like graphic novels of them.
Is
Like
that good?
I love it. So like I would say like anime like that. Like that's the ones I constantly go back
That's
to.
the one with
like,
the like every player gets an angel, right? Or that's
Oh, well, that's the one. Like basically, everyone has like a goddess or like
goddess.
a god.
Yeah, I watched like two episodes of that, and I'm like, it's good.
You have like the different like groups and stuff like that, and like the more people you have, like the higher up you are, like in like ranking, and like you can get to go inside of what is that called? Like the towers or whatever. You can be because like as
Like
a
a dungeon
venture, like
crawler.
there you
Yeah.
go, dungeon. I was like
Yeah.
a tower. Like you get to go into the dungeons and stuff like that. So like it's pretty cool. But I like the main character Belle because he's such a sweetheart and he just tries so hard. And like I'm a sucker for try hard characters. I'm like, oh baby, just keep going. You got this. Like any anime that has like a try hard character and it's like wholesome, not that they made him seem like that type of character, like it seems like I met him in real life or something like that, you know, like it's like I know someone like you, you know, like that's one of the things that attracts me the most. Or like he's just so like oblivious to like the fact that like his goddess and like is in love with him, and I'm like, I feel like I'm that person. Like I never know when anyone is ever attracted to me because I'm just on my own group. Like
what? You speaking to the preacher of the choir right now? Been a young Monkey D. Luffy since I was an adolescent.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. So I was just like, oh, I like relate to him in that way, but also just the fact that like he just tries his best, and it's like so honest and it's so earnest, and all he wants to do is just make his goddess like happy and just like genuinely happy. Wants her to feel comfortable. Wants her to be like happy with life, and I'm like, yeah, I can rock with that.
Okay. You already said you like Yu Yu Hakusho, so I'm not gonna get into that. Do you have a favorite out of the big three? Take your time, because that's a challenging question. Did you watch all three of them?
Yeah, but I didn't fin like, well, for instance, because like I don't know, some people do and they don't consider like Bleach as part of the big three, but like
How?
Yeah, exactly.
There are people
Because I
who
thought this
do
what you was gonna go for.
How?
because that's why I'm like,
Wow.
let me figure out which big three you mean.
No. There's only one.
The big three.
There's only
The big
one.
three.
Because I have had people tell me that like Bleach isn't there because there are so many people that don't even know Bleach exists.
Then what did they put in that spot?
Exactly.
They put Dragon Ball
They
Z.
put Dragon Ball
wild.
Z.
They
No,
wild.
that's
They put Dragon Ball
Goku's
Z.
kids.
That's Goku's kids.
That's his kids.
Yeah.
They put Dragon Ball Z. I'm telling you.
That's dad.
That's Pops, and then he had 3 sons, all wearing orange in some way, shape, or
Right.
form.
Right. Or just is Luffy just being like as like low key just his kid. Like he just don't even know. Like come on, that shit
I've
idiot
had some
son.
people actually put like Hunter x Hunter like into the big
See,
three.
and I could, because that show was, first of all, because it's my favorite. It's a little too difficult to like put anywhere because it ended. It's not finished. It got remade.
It came out in the
It came out
90s.
in the 90s. Then
Yeah.
it got. It's like it's just kind of on its own thing.
Yeah.
And No, what are y'all doing?
No, I would say Bleach though. To answer your question, I would say Bleach.
Yeah.
We're all talking with big three.
Big three.
The cat. If y'all want to put it in a category, even though it's only 3 of them, these anime were ongoing well into the 2000s, like early 2000s. All at the same time, we're surpassing over 200 episodes. All at the same time had 5+ movies well into the 200 episodes. All had multiple video games. 200+ episodes, all had merch. Talking figurines, we're talking toys, manga sales, soundtracks. Do you want me to keep going on like replica swords? Like, what other anime was doing this in 2008?
Not a lot.
I didn't
just
see
those 3.
I didn't see a HunterHunterGet.com. Like, I didn't see that site. You know, like is, and for them, I guess they would even consider that because that's how some of the games were like marketed when they would include all of those Shonen Jump games. It'd be like, oh, Goku, Naruto, Luffy. It was like, what about Ichigo? I think that's because like we brought this up last year on our show that like we were saying like, oh, One Piece. Well, I was saying One Piece is now in the Z phase with like Wano and stuff. As far as how it looks, what they're doing, power scaling, like all these things like that. Like Dragon Ball Z, like once Goku figured out why he had a tail, everything was just off the table. You don't know who gonna pull up and give you a hard time. Naruto did it with Shippuden, and Bleach. Now looking at it, it started in the Z. It didn't do Kid Ichigo and then
like it started off as that. And my thing is, I think a lot of reason why to like. I think one, Bleach wasn't marketed in the same way that the other ones were also marketed, but also two, almost every black person that I know that watches anime will always say Bleach is their top. And it's one because they did really good job at like showing like representation. They did a really good job with like the coloring of skin. Yeah, like skin color, like coloring, hair texture, like music. Like they did a fantastic job like incorporating. Now you feel like number 1, shining down on everyone.
If you wanna see some action.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like I know for us we count that, but I know not everyone does. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what big 3 did you mean? Because that might be different than the big 3 that I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Come on, you've been with us for a good hour. You know we real. You know.
I had the triple chicken chuck. Leave me alone.
Listen.
Okay.
Shout out to Patter and Home.
Shout out Patter and Home.
That's right. Look at that. Studio time.
Yeah.
No more bedroom.
Yeah.
No more stopping everything because I sneezed and then knocked everything down. Thank you so much. Shout out to Patter and Home.
Shout out Patter and Home.
Studio time here.
Yeah.
Definitely. Nah, but Bleach was. Now I'm saying I was like that might have been the best one. Even me being a One Piece like lunatic at this point, Bleach was definitely. I was more excited to see what was happening in Bleach, especially once it got to a certain like. Well into the fake Kankuro town. Is that how you say it?
Katakura town?
Katakura?
Katakura town, yeah.
Like it was Kankuro's the puppet dude from Naruto. From like Katakura, like the fake town when they fighting the
pillars. They gotta keep all the pillars.
They're fighting the Espada, the Iran card.
Yeah.
And then it just kept getting to a point where it's like, all right, we wiped out all the subordinates. All right, we knocked out the top 3. All right, now it's everybody just trying to jump Aizen. Like it just kept escalating to where like, what are we going to do now? And then like that's probably one of my favorite like plot twists in the anime is when they jump Aizen and it still didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, when I watched that, I was like, yeah. And then I was like, you did not just have it where my man coming back. He's not dead.
Because it just, the last 2 minutes of the episode was, what?
From the get, he always was like, I was like on some like Riddler shit or whatever, just like, yo, I'm already 18 steps ahead of you and I will be 18 steps ahead of you.
His smirk never left his face.
Ever.
It never left his face.
The moment he took the glasses off, he was a whole nother man. He was like, yo.
Okay, real quick, can we just talk real quick about the essence of glasses in anime? Because like, if I go, it's like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it changes everything. It changes everything. Or like the glass push-up, like.
Come on.
Push-up, the shiny.
The shiny.
We were wasn't even too sure about Uryu. Like
We weren't.
right.
Yeah.
We weren't.
Always fixing his
Yeah.
He was super
arrogant.
sketchy.
Yeah.
He was super sketchy at a certain point in time where it's like, all right, you're being like that, like prudish, like hoity-toity. I'm better because I'm a,
I'm a Quincy. Yeah.
You know, and then the minute you had some problems, you like, Ichigo, can you come help me? Like, you know, like.
Then you find out
now.
y'all cousins. He's like, oh,
Yo.
That's
That
his family asking
That's
family.
why.
See, that's the one
Yeah.
thing I think, like, for some people may have had them fall off when it came down to Bleach. Was it's like, oh, so Ichigo just everything. You
But
know?
even, some people didn't even make it past the first 20 episodes, which is like my rule with anime. You gotta give it, no matter what the show is, you gotta give it 12 to 16,
Yeah.
or at least the first mission, or
like the season or whatever.
like
first
at least
big
halfway. Yeah,
turn,
like it's
yeah.
so like Naruto. You had to give it until the whole them fighting Zabuza.
yeah, like with Haku and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
One Piece, you had to give it until when they fighting Buggy. Like when it's Nami and Zoro and then
Yeah.
like fighting, because like this is how the show's gonna play out.
Yeah.
Even the newer stuff, Black Clover, I had to give it to the first mission, where even then I still wasn't convinced.
Yeah.
But I was like, I see where it's kind of doing, but like Bleach, he's doing a rewatch of the fight with the Ron cars now. I just started rewatching the whole series, and that first 20, I'm like, this is different. Because even like after he gets the powers, I think it's like episode 3 or 4. Like Rukia is telling us like, this isn't a game. You
Yeah.
aren't playing hero. This is a job.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do this, I need to hear it from you that you want to take this serious every step of the way. You're going to listen to me, and made that decision. It's like, all right, well, this is where we're going from now.
Yeah, no, I remember when I first started watching like Rukia, I was like, wow, that's really cool. But then she got on my nerves a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was like that beginning part where I was like, just talk to your brother, yo.
Yeah.
You're making him do all this work for what?
Right.
Like, you know, so like, but I would say like, if I were to say like a favorite character, because I'm thinking about it now, like Renji's like my top.
Renji's.
Love his Zanpakuto.
Zabimaru. Zabimaru.
Yeah.
Because that first reveal too, when he just like
Yeah,
just
like,
wiped.
ching, 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 ching.
Oh man, that turn of events. Because Ichigo had the power up during the fight. Ichigo was like, "Oh, he think he tough. Like
Yeah.
he think he this little nigga think he tough."
Literally.
Got the belt. Got the belt
But
on
you
you.
saw the shock though.
Got the belt on you, boy.
boy.
Damn. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Zanpakuto? There's so many of them.
Asking all these hard questions. I do want to be biased and say like Zabimaru, but I also really like Byakuya's like one with like the pedals.
Zinbon Sakura.
Yeah, I can't remember the
Talking
name.
about versatile.
The only reason
Like,
why I
that's
know
why
the
I
names
like
because of how you
it.
say it. Zinbon Sakura. That's just like that's
Yeah.
it. And this a pillar.
Kageyoshi.
Yeah, like
Zinbon
that one I
Sakura.
think is just like really one is versatile, but also it's so pretty.
It's
Yeah. He
Like, you
drops
get
his sword in the liquid.
mesmerized.
He just
Like you get so mesmerized into it, but I think that's kind of like I think I just like anything sword related, like that, where it's like water or like just flows into something.
It's like the petals are reflections of the
Yeah.
blade. Like you still can't even see the swords.
Yeah.
It's just a reflection
Reflections of it. Yeah.
Dude, oh man.
What about you guys? What's your favorite?
I would say Renji too after the 1,000-Year Blood War, but to not say Renji, maybe it might be a Kako after his Bankai. That's still too cheap.
that's the ball one, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's the one. Because he got the guillotine joint.
Let me go with the visor dude with the short gray hair.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Because he had like his regular Zanpakuto is like a shortened like blade.
Yeah.
But then his Shikai is like a combat knife that he like stabs and releases like Ryatsu and it's an explosion.
Yeah.
But then his Bankai is just straight up throwing hands. Like he got brass knuckles on.
Yeah.
And then he's still doing like the energy projection. I was like, this is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Oh man. Because then I want to kind of go into Espada territory. I'm like,
Yeah.
their sword
Yeah.
releases were crazy too.
Might have to be what's the brother who's I think he's number 9 captain. How he can just make the darkness bubble, like because he puts you in the blind world, and it's like it only took a maniac to break that. Anybody else would have got.
Yeah.
Because it's like
that's true. Because like you're
you lose all
stuck
your
there.
senses. he blacks out everything. You can't do nothing. The only thing is he was fighting a dude who just like would be willing to get himself stabbed just to
like he can have where he stabs you and like you're just stuck there in time feeling that pain for thousands of years.
Oh, you talking what's his name?
I'm talking about whatchamacallit.
The spider number 5? Number 6?
I think that's what I'm saying. It's something. It reminds me of that in a way, where it's like his is somewhat similar, except like you just stuck.
You just stuck.
You can't do anything.
Nothing.
Well, shit. Nah, excuse me. That wasn't even a spider. That was Kosuchi just using some chemicals. That wasn't even a sword.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You're right.
Because his sword holds all the shit, and it's like they were always different with this.
The 1,000-Year Blood War. They started fighting zombies.
Yeah.
It was a Quincy that if enough of her blood got on you on a corpse, she can like control you completely.
Like some necromancy stuff.
And then he just completely reversed it in science. Still not even touching his sword, and he's still a problem for people.
Yeah.
Such a weirdo though. I can't even put him in my favorite characters. Nah.
When he did the chameleon eyes,
and he always had drip. First of all, Bleach.
Oh yeah.
Best of the big 3.
Drip.
Mm-hmm.
Drip alone.
Yeah.
Fits alone.
Yeah.
Oh, we going somewhere else? Let me bust out this new outfit. Let me get this new like Chad. Always.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Chad was on it.
Clean.
Dominican brother.
Clean.
Doing his thing.
Ichigo, and what we chilling? Well, let me go through my closet real quick. Just lounge.
Yeah.
Like Orihime, same thing. Like, and then even like with certain time skips, it's like just add on to the outfit a little bit. Toshio, just give him a scarf.
Yeah.
Change up Zaraki's eye patch. Let his hair fall down a little bit. Ikaku, his badge is like a shoulder brace in a way. Like
even when when Renji and like half the gang start going to the high school.
Oh yeah.
And they all got just like regular. They got him in like the b-boy. They got Renji in the b-boy fit. He got the bandana over him. He's just like
his art. Taite love drawing his character. Like the artwork, the like commercial breaks they would do, the openings, the endings. Like
that's why it's a favorite because it's like so much was put into it. You know.
I think I've seen like definitely like TikTok on Twitter. It was like who had the best openings, Bleach or Naruto. I'm like, wow, landslide Bleach. Yeah. I can't pick a favorite Bleach one. All of them hit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there were because I have my little black nerd crew, we do everything together. And we were driving somewhere, and like I was like, what should we play? And then someone was like, Bleach. I was like, yeah. And then like we just started literally like singing all together while we're like driving it in the car, just like jamming out. Like,
the first opening was like that had me hooked. I'm like, I want to watch the show just to see this every time. Yeah. Come on. That reminded me of Fooly Cooley's music.
Yeah.
Fooly Cooley has some
Fooly
like
Cooley was really good too.
Some of the most. Shout out to the Pillows, man.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I even know about that band. Like that was a good time for Adult Swim because it was Fooly Cooley and Samurai Champloo same time. Me and my brother just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
It was
Samurai
like
Champloo was really good.
Music alone was just like keeping the show just like gorgeous. Okay, so big 3 favorite Bleach.
Yep.
All right. What about of this new generation of shonen anime? I will cap it at Jujutsu Kaisen. Kaisen.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even that. Let me just give you more specific.
Yeah.
Fire Force.
Okay.
Black Clover.
Okay.
My Hero.
All right.
What's the fourth one?
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Out of those 4, which one you leaning more towards?
I would personally say Demon Slayer. One, because I liked it before everyone started like really hopping on it. So like, because I'm very much so that person. Like, I won't watch an anime like everyone's like, yeah, this is the most amazing anime.
Right.
Like, I'll be like, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Like I
let
will wait.
Let the hype calm
I'll
down.
Let it go down, and then like I watch it myself because I don't like watching it and feeling like I have like the influence of other people saying like, oh, this. Like I want myself to forget whatever you just told me.
That's why
watch it.
I always try to tell the listeners, I'm like, y'all don't want me to watch your favorite anime because you're not gonna like what I have to say about it. If I'm making myself watch it just to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Like I took my time. So I never seen Fullmetal Alchemist and Death Note until the last like 9 months. Watch first, like I watched the original Full Metal.
Yeah,
I was like, no, because I've seen enough of this.
Yeah.
It just wasn't pieced together from Adult Swim. But eventually, I was like, yo, this is y'all favorite anime? This shit is depressing as hell. Like, like that's when I started bleeding in a little bit, like my life a little bit, things I've had to me and related with anime. I was like, so y'all don't have a brother? Like y'all never had weird family situations like this? This kind of goes into like my whole thing with Goku now with like, oh, y'all never had a dad that was just young doing dumb shit and you got to watch it the whole time? Like, just watching him mature and being like, oh, this is my dad, but this nigga's 45 now. Like, like he's trying to assimilate to like, all right, I was wilding for a while.
Well, I'm good now.
Yeah, so it's like I still like that part of me, but let me just try to just
tone it.
Yeah, just tone it.
Tone it down.
Tone it down a little bit. Yeah.
But that's a good pick. Demons, I always say they max out their budget. This last season was fantastic.
Yeah,
I loved
they did a really good job.
Absolutely loved it.
I had a friend from high school, like, went on Instagram and messaged me. It was like, you should watch it. It's really good. Well, I was like, okay, all right, now, because by that point, all the episodes are already out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I was like, damn, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Would it be crazy? Would it sound crazy if I were to tell you that Black Clover, My Hero, and Demon Slayer all remind me of Bleach?
No. I wouldn't say that's crazy because, like, I think that's one of the qualities I like. Because I like Black Clover a lot, too. Like, I'm a little behind right now, but, like...
It takes so long to get into?
Like, I was up to pace, and then I started watching something else like the fool I am.
It happens.
And then I was like, well, dang.
It happens.
I'm watching, and then I started like reading the manga because when I catch up, I get impatient and I start reading, and then I'm like, I caught up now, and now there's nothing for me to do.
Got you.
But like with Demon Slayer, like it made me think of Bleach and like certain aspects of it, just like the artwork in certain ways, like the musicality, the like whole like montage of like having like a trainer and like different things like that. Like they're really, really, really good at putting like CGI with like 2D animation. Like they did a fantastic job with that. Like they blend so well and they know when to put it.
That's the best way to update anime now. For like newer.
They did like UFO Table did so good with that, and that's another thing that I like because like anyone who has watched it, like that scene where they're like with the spider family and like she's like Nezuko is like boom, and then he's like
Nah, it definitely was a sibling moment.
You forget for a second you watching a whole anime because it's like they just decide to go 3D on you, and it's like whoa,
this is one motion.
It was as I'm saying, it was a smooth transition. It wasn't like that's CGI. It was like, yo, this looks so good, and then you go, let's say you replay it, and you're like, wait a minute, that was CGI. Yeah, it was real clean.
That's how the Broly Super movie was. Like I regret not watching it in theaters. Ended up downloading it and I watched it. I was like, what? You went POV? Like I didn't even notice that switch. Like you just see Goku face get punched into a mountain. And you like anime getting this type of budget now? That's crazy. Yeah. Apparently, guy that worked on that movie, that animated that, he's the one, or that company is now helping out with One Piece, which is why it looks so good.
Yeah. So he's doing the One Piece, the Wano arc.
Yeah. I didn't come to that conclusion with like Bleach being an influence of like this newer generation of anime until like hanging around this guy, talking more and more, watching all three of these now, finally getting into Black Clover. Like when I first started Black Clover, I was like, I don't know why this reminds me of Bleach. Yeah. But it does. More so than Naruto. The only thing with Naruto is just the whole duo. Yeah. And the, I want to be the Wizard King. Like that's the only thing. But then it's like, it's certain things with Bleach where I'm like, but he's the only one with a sword. It's like I still
that
don't
like
get it.
non-magic users can touch it. He's the only person that can't use magic, but he can use it. And like anyone who depending on how far up in like Black Clover you get, like I be feeling bad for Asta at certain point in time because his story is real sad too.
I just got done with the tournament and it's like his fight was like dope, but like his last fight came to a draw and like even he was saying like, damn, remember I told you like he just got his power up? Yeah. But he's already been training. He knows his limits. And he was just like, I can only use it. Like my muscles already tight. I can only use it one more time. And I wanted to save it for Yuno. Fuck, I got to use it again. Yeah. And even if he won, he was like, I wouldn't have won. Yuno ends up winning the whole thing. Comes to visit him in the bed. And like, he's just so fucked up. He can't even move. But he just shouts out. He's just like, I'm going to catch up to you. And then Yuno just like, all right, whatever. Like, it's kind of still talking shit, keeping that like rivalry going. Like healthy. They have a more healthy relationship than Naruto and Sasuke.
No toxicity.
What? It's pure game. Like, it's just pure we just both got the same goal. That's it.
Yeah, no, with like the whole rivalry with like Naruto and like Sasuke, like at certain points in time, like Sasuke, you just need a timeout. Like you need to sit down.
That's it.
Work yourself out and come back. Cause what? Like now, like the whole, especially with
Go get therapized.
for real, especially when he was like, "I'm gonna be Hokage now." Hello.
Whoa. Now you want to do it?
Now.
Yeah.
Now.
You were making fun of me. I won't do it now. You won't do it.
Oh.
Like what? That got on my nerves. I was angry at the screen.
That's like getting text messages from people and like you went to high school with. It was like, hey, I started watching anime now. I was like,
yo, for real. Really? It's like, but didn't you make fun of me though? That's crazy.
I specifically remember you in art class, March 3rd, 2006.
You said, and I quote.
Right?
Yeah.
Anime is trash.
Right.
All right.
But that was Black Clover, and then you told me that the creator of My Hero was like, nigga, I love Bleach. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like this nigga got all the powers, and then My Hero, that's a whole nother discussion. My Hero started like Avatar a little bit to me.
Yeah.
And then Demon Slayer, I'm like, look at it's the
sword play.
Look at the Demon Corps.
The Edo period, the Demon Corps.
They all got the white robes. Mm-hmm. They all use different fighting forms.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it reminded me so much of it. And as I said, like Byakuya's like Zanpakuto, like with the petals, like it reminds me so much of like the water breathing with like just a flowing, or like what's his name?
Even the fire has more of a liquid type.
Yeah.
Almost like you're watching Fire Wheel happen, like as a move happen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I could see why. And people who say, "Oh, it's too overhyped," no, it's fucking worth it. Honestly, it's earned its spot.
It was the number one movie during the pandemic for a reason.
Yeah,
like
it earned its spot. Yeah. It's damn good.
Understand that. Understand that. This is a great conversation. I kind of don't want to ruin it with what I want to ask next about DBZ and Goku. I kind of. So I'm a. Cordero, is there anything else? Is there something? Is a question on your mind?
Honestly, I think this might have to be another part tour. To be honest, because I got more like realizing how. Like I wasn't gonna even ask you like on the cosplay side and dealing with this con shit and like all this other stuff, because there's a lot of stuff in that community that I'm like we got it together as people who like anime, but we also don't. No. So I like getting more into that, but I don't even know if we'll be here all night. We might be here all night doing it.
That'd be true. I'm
trying to think.
4 or 5 hour podcast. Yeah. All right, so this will be part 1.
Yeah.
And we'll end it.
Okay, how about this on the Goku thing? Do you like Goku?
As a person?
As a character.
As a character.
No.
Over everything. Ball, Z, Super,
not Goku. Not Goku the character, my fault. Ball and Z. Do you like Dragon Ball? That's what I meant to say.
I do like Dragon Ball Z.
Like Dragon Ball Z.
Z.
Okay.
I like Dragon Ball Z. To specify. Okay. But like Goku as a character, nah. He dead. I don't like him.
Okay. All right.
Fair enough.
I've already said my point. I said it earlier. I don't need to reiterate it. I don't need to reiterate it. And that's something I'm realizing too now. I'm like, why do I feel this way? Why am I seeing it way differently than the mass right now, or the people I'm talking against? Like, and I'm just like,
I get the viewpoint that you put. It's like, okay, he had to get himself together.
I've seen this.
No, I totally get that, because like I've seen a rendition of Goku in real life, like in other parts of like my family and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, they just need to get themselves together. But in my mind, I'm like, then why you have kids though?
Right.
And you need to get yourself together in that way. So like,
no control over it.
Yeah, well, no, he was like put to this giant task of like saving the planet. So like that's out of his control. But I also like understand like his kid's perspective, where it's like, so my dad's Piccolo, right? You know what I mean? Like,
I can't leave the streets, but the streets love me.
I'm rewatching the Cell Saga, and there was the moment when Goku and Gohan in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Gohan's having a nightmare, but you don't know it. It's like he's just training, and next thing you know, Chi-Chi just kicks down the door. It's just like, that's it. I've had it. You're coming back home. We're not doing this anymore. He's like, but I'm not done training. She's like, nope, you're not going to be out here like a thug like your dad and the rest of his gang. He's like, it's not a gang. It's a Z Fighters. But he brought that up in our, what was that, like Ishmael? It's like episode 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, like he literally just was a kid running the streets. Roshi tried to help him. Yeah. His brother came down, and then like that just made it even worse. When he's like, wait, this is where I'm coming from? Like, like he had like an identity crisis. Like he had a lot of things, and like
I'm wondering if it's also too kind of like because they age differently too. So like I'm wondering if like mentally like he aged like a lot differently than like he did physically.
He still got the
just
mental.
Because he could like just because he could like help reproduce doesn't mean like he's mentally capable of doing anything that comes after that.
The whole alien.
Yeah, so like
with brain damage, as you said.
He's got
long-term concussion that hasn't been.
He comes from a race of like primal like people that can turn into like a fucking monster. That wore muscle for hire. Like it was.
So like I get it. Like if you like remove like other components of like him being a dad and just him as a person, like he's alright as a person. Like he can be really childish, especially like with Super. Mind you, I never fully watched Super. I just only had like certain points of time. It's better read.
I will say I will because one is still going.
Yeah.
But it's in like.
I just don't like Goku's voice in Japanese.
That took me a while to get used to.
It takes a minute. It does take a minute.
But it was. But once it like, especially once you get to like Tournament Power, you just like, oh, it's Dragon Ball's back. Okay, like the reason I like it is back. But now in the current arc that they're doing now, they having him pretty much reconnect with his dad and right. So like, there's a whole bad guy right. I'm like, this is just nice just to see. Because it started out how it usually does now with Super was they get in contact with Goku and Vegeta. Hey, there's a guy somewhere. They go pay a visit to these people. And this guy, he has ties with the Saiyans. He was like, you Saiyans killed all my people. I'm getting revenge now. He wished himself to be the greatest, the strongest person in the universe. They're fighting him. The usual power-up stuff happens. Yeah. And the usual Dragon Ball stuff happens. Yeah. They have a flashback with the Namekian on the planet. He was like, oh yeah, you look like a Saiyan that I met years ago. You look just like him. Goes like, well, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I got no memory of him. And he's like, well, I have the scouter here from him. And then they playing back the previous like recording from before. Wow. So he gets to hear his dad's voice. Aww. Right. He has a whole moment where it's like he has like a
recollection,
a repressed memory. Like it's literally a scene from the Super movie when it's
the Broly movie. He's saying bye.
Yeah, where he's just like he was like, we need you to stay alive, and then he's having a whole. They're doing a flashback right now. Look,
look at him.
And even when Super started and there's Goku in actual clothes, being responsible and being a farmer. So it's like a different. They're really treating him as a 40-year-old shonen character.
That's good, as they should.
Right, but we agree with. He's a terrible dad. Terrible dad.
That's why Piccolo stepped in.
Terrible. That's why Chi-Chi trained Goten. It's like, let me get this out the way before your dad pulls you in.
True.
And teach you how to fight for the wrong reasons. Right. Yeah, that's Gohan brought back the purple gi. Super's better read. It's better to read it.
All right,
the fact that Vegeta is a better dad.
Yeah, I think that surprised a lot of people because they probably thought that he wouldn't be just because of how the initial introduction of him as like a character was. But like, I like Vegeta dad. Like he's pretty cool.
Aren't they around the same age?
It's what he needed. He's a year older, a year or two older.
So he
yeah.
But I also think he like actually had to go through a process of like growing up more so than like Goku in certain ways. I feel like sometimes support.
Well, now with the Super movie, it's kind of like I take that as canon now. So he was running around with Raditz when they were kids.
He was already acting. I think he's maybe like, because also they did have like the crazy growth spurt thing. I think he's only like a couple years old.
Yeah, because they put him in pods and like Rome.
Yeah. I think like Goku's 44, he's 47, some shit like that. Yeah.
But is it from the fucking warlord that he tried to be?
Yeah.
To now it's just he's married and getting on Goku is like, cause you're a dumbass, we gotta keep training now. Like, cause Frieza's alive again. Like, so
remember where you came from. That's all we're saying to people who diss Dragon Ball Z.
Come on.
Remember where you came from.
Remember where it started.
Yeah.
If you keep saying Naruto, well, look again.
Yeah.
This nigga always wearing orange. I wonder why. Najah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Please shout out all your socials.
Yeah, where can people find you? Where can people find your con? Where can people find? Yeah.
Come on.
So if you want to find Geek Out at Staten Island, aka GOASI Con, you can go to GOASI_con. If you want to find me, my Instagram is Eonsi Designs or EONSI_designs. Yep.
All of that, all of the good stuff. Check it out.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Someone's out.
If you're in the New York area, if you're not and you want to travel and go to see a cool con in the city, Seriously, go to this con.
If
Please.
you don't want to get attacked in your pockets just for a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Well, I say that was the best part. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm hungry. I really want to do like a big plate of food, nothing like that. I'm like, all right, I'll do the cheeseburger. How much is a cheeseburger? It's like $5. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, no, I really tried to think about like what are people's
I was like,
biggest
how much?
complaints about cons, and I took it real
The
serious.
I was like, how much?
That's
And then I bit
crazy.
into it. I was like, damn, this is not bad. I was like, what? Let me get another one.
Bring it 20 for this.
Yeah.
Woo.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Actually, all the food that was like made, like all the meat and stuff, was like all halal.
See?
and stuff like that too.
They kept
so,
it. Your bases were covered
yeah.
once you have a good time.
Well, I'm excited to go soon. I really want to go.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Come
I'm-
on
I'm
down,
in- I'm in-
August 13th.
yeah.
We'll definitely reapply for a panel.
Yeah.
Definitely reapply for a panel.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
fun.
can send it to you.
That's it.
There we go.
Submissions open. Submissions are open.
Yeah.
They're
Submissions open. Vending
they're
applications
open.
are open.
Yeah.
If you want to do a panel, that's open. We're also opening stuff for people who want to be photographers. If you want to come and just practice photography skills, we're opening that up too. We want to really support as many people as we can.
Hell yeah.
Thank you again for coming. As always, follow us on all the things: Linktree, Negro Jump, Patreon, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, OnlyFans. Maybe that's
Maybe.
off.
It's
Take
off.
that off of
It's
that.
off.
That's
It's
not
off.
professional.
It's all lewd.
That's
We'll do lewd, not new. Lewd, not new.
That's the same thing. Shout out to Pattern.
Shout out
Home.
Pattern and
Shout
Home.
out Pattern Home. We appreciate you.
Blessing
I've been
us.
Gerard.
Been Cordero.
Been
This is
our
Najah.
lovely guest Najah. It's been Negro Jump. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.